And my first question is, what is peace to you?
Peace to me is the ongoing interaction between people in a nonviolent way to the benefit of all parties involved.
What would you do to make the world more peaceful?
It's an ongoing process. I think for me, it's impossible to do one thing. There are many needs and many wars to try and stop before they start, but there are also just struggles in our own nation for equality and justice. I believe that without justice there is no peace.
How do you solve your own conflict?
I'm a Quaker, and we believe that there is that of God in every person, and the difficulty is trying to respond to that when you're mad at the rest of the person. And to me, that's really the core of it, is to listen to, if I have a conflict with somebody, listen to what their side of it is, try and get my side, express it, but also try and find a way, step to the side of the person and figure out a way that works for both of us.
What is your peace education story?
My involvement was 30 years ago, really. I helped write to a Quaker organization, the American Friends Service Committee, the first grant application to pay for the first peace education director. Paul Newman and I were concerned, as were many peace activists in the community at the time, that for one thing, there was the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps program, the JROTC program in the high schools. We wanted that counterbalance. That was certainly one of the things that was to be involved here, and one of the things that attracted the American Friends Service Committee, AFSC, to provide the funding. One way into the schools, which seemed less confrontational and much more immediately helpful to the school system, was to look at peer mediation. And that's really how the program evolved in that direction. And that has been useful for the school system and for the students and teachers that have gotten that training.
Who inspired you to do that?
And so my own process of getting clarity on a conscientious objector status really led me to believe that I've got to work to try and avoid those wars so that we don't have to put young men and women in the situation of having not only to die for their country, but to kill other people in other countries too.
How do you think the peace education program helps the community?
I do know that the peer mediation program has been a tremendous aid to the school system. I see that expanded, and the concept of nonviolent conflict resolution expanded the next step when you get out of high school and go into the world. I think it's absolutely critical. Again, my concern is through some of the programs here in peace education and other programs that are going on in the community, to get students involved not only in conflict resolution, nonviolent conflict resolution in their schools, but then in their communities, which Peace Ed is also doing, and the next step in the nation and internationally. I see that as a continuum, and the only people who can do that are the ones who believe in it from their firsthand experience, and I think that's where trained youth mediators and others are very important to the future of it, to come up with creative ideas for conflict resolution.
What is your favorite image of peace?
The feeling, really more than an image, of what that feels like when both parties know that they were at an impasse and somehow they got past it and they didn't have to use violence and they maintained their relationship.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Sure.